the breath tied to the movement. Inhaling on the forward half of the circle, exhaling back, still leading with the heart. See if you can let your head just float on top of your neck. Sometimes we start to lead with the head. That's a little much. Well, you can get dizzy. You can tip over. You can hurt your neck if you lead with your head too much. Think of a gimbal. Think of the way your arm moves when you're holding a drink and you're on a boat. Take your circles the other way at some point. There's a nice picture, huh? You're on a boat with a drink? Sure. It's an art, not spilling your drink on a moving boat. Couple more. After your next exhale, sit up nice and tall. Rest your hands at your sides, keeping the length in your spine. Maybe it's just your fingertips. Inhale, reach your left arm up alongside your ear. And as you exhale, reach to the right. Feel for length all the way from that hip up through those fingertips. So keep the hand active, like there's a string up here. You're trying to turn the light on in the garage or something. With an inhale, come upright. As you exhale, come into a twist. Bring that left hand to the floor behind you and your right hand to your left leg. Inhale to lengthen up. Exhale to explore the twist some more. Feel that with each breath. We lengthen, and then we invite further twisting. Come back through center. Inhaling, raise your right arm, reach for that ceiling. Exhaling, reach to the left. Breathing length into the right side. And here your head can just be wherever your neck is comfortable. Sometimes we get into this, where is my head supposed to be? It's not supposed to be anywhere. It's supposed to be wherever it feels comfy. Inhale to come upright. As you exhale, come into the twist on the other side. Exploring with the breath, lengthening and maybe deepening. Come on back to center. And let's come up onto our hands and knees. Get there however you want. Some like to rock forward, some like to tip and spin. Take care of yourself and do it the way that works for you. Bring your wrists under your shoulders. Let your hands open way up. Feel that whole palm on the ground. Reach back with your left foot. Press the ball of your foot against the mat. Picture your heel moving out away from your tailbone. And then relax the pressure on your foot and slide it out to the side, bring it in line with your hip. Let the foot rest there. It might rest on the inner edge of the foot, or the whole foot might flatten to the floor. It doesn't matter, whatever your foot wants to do. I'm going to explore some rocking here, and a little goes a long way. So we start out really small and be gentle. Be mindful of the sensation here on this inner thigh. That's where it's easy to overdo it. Exhale, sit back a little towards your right heel, and inhale to come forward again. Just feel that out. Sort of a complex stretch. Gets into a lot of spots. Inner thigh, outer hip, sacrum, various places you might feel it. The outsides of the knee, sometimes it registers there. Be mindful of anything there, any twinges. Back away from anything that hurts and do a little less. Now, when you rock forward again, pause there. We're going to do some upper body extension. Now, walk your hands forward. This is sort of like downward dog in your upper body. Hands come forward, let your head come down between your arms. And then we're going to walk the hands over to the right. And then imagine you want to move your right hip just a couple inches towards your right heel. Give a little push into your hands. A lot of stretching, but not a lot of movement there. Slowly walk your hands back to center. And then back in towards you, so they're under your shoulders again. Sweep your foot back behind you and bring that knee back down. Reach your right foot back and press it into the floor. Take a couple of breaths. Relax the pressure on your foot and scoot it out to the side. Bring it in line with the hip if you can. Let it ground there. And we'll explore our rocking. Exhale, sit back a little. Inhale, come forward. Whatever degree of movement feels okay for you. So I'm saying a little, maybe you feel like you need a lot. Enough is a relative term. Overdoing it is a relative term. I can only feel into my body. You can only feel into yours. On your next inhale, rock forward. Pause the rocking. Walk your hands forward. Release your neck, let your head come down. Walk your hands to the left. And give that little push into your hands. Sending your left hip towards your left heel just a little. Walk your hands on back to center, then back towards you again. Slide your foot back to center line and bring your knee down. And we're going to come to standing in a forward fold. Step one foot up between your hands and then the other, and just hang out in your forward fold. As I switch cameras to the standing up camera. We're having fun playing with technology in here. You get different points of view of the teacher here in Zoom Yoga. There he is, standing up. So sway back and forth, bend and straighten your legs, letting your head and your arms just hang. Nice and gently shake your head no. And nod your head yes. Inhale, lift up halfway. Feel the crown of your head reaching forward away from your tailbone, pressing your hands to the front of your legs to help the spine lengthen, roughly parallel to the floor. With an exhale, relax down. Inhale, roll up to standing, hands up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let your hands hang at your sides. Lift your right shoulder towards your ear. Shift it back. Let it down. The cracking part's optional. Lift your left shoulder up. Send it back and let it down. Inhale, reach for the walls. As you exhale, reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself, or if you like, come to eagle arms. If you take eagle, reach your elbows and hands up and out. Couple big breaths. Inhale, spread your wings. As you exhale, cross those arms the other way. Your choice, eagle arms or grab the shoulder blades. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist to the left. So if you're on a mat, your arms are running parallel to your mat here. Inhale, face front. Exhale, twist to your right. If you're not on a mat, no shame. You can practice yoga without a mat. It's allowed. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, let your arms down. Inhale, your arms out and up. Interlace your fingers. Flip your palms to the ceiling. Look up at those hands. Lift up your heart. Depending on how open you feel, maybe your hips drift forward, maybe your head and your hands drift back. See what your body wants. With an inhale, bring yourself upright. With an exhale, bend to the right, feel full length through both arms. And try not to let the left shoulder curl forward past the left ear. Inhale, come up. And exhale, bend to your left. Try not to let the right shoulder curl forward past the ear. Inhale up. Exhale, let your arms come down. Sun salutations. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Plant your hands and step back to plank, or walk your hands forward to plank, depending on how you're set up in your space. Find your plank. With an exhale, lower halfway, elbows in. Inhale, bring your heart forward. Drop your knees anytime in the plank or the heart opener. Exhale, back and up to down dog. And let's walk the dog for a minute here. Pedal those feet up and down, finding length in all those wonderful leg muscles. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step forward or walk hands back. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Go through all that once more and then add some other things. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, down. Plant your hands, step back to your plank. On an exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, open your heart, cobra or up dog. Exhale, back and up. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll start into another one, but then we're going to mix it up. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, down. Plant your hands and step back to your plank. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, back and up. Inhale, raise your left leg up. Keep the leg long, stack that hip over your right hip. Look under your left arm. And square your hips down. Exhale, draw your knee towards your left elbow. Inhale, reach your leg up. Exhale, draw your knee towards your chest and send your foot over to the right side. Rest the pinky toe edge of your foot on the floor. Star pose. If you want to go further, bring your right hand in towards your heart, on up towards the ceiling, fallen star. If your hand's raised, bring it down. Draw your knee to center, reach your leg up high. And we're going to come to pigeon. Exhale, draw your knee towards your left wrist, your ankle towards your right wrist. Uncurl the back toes. Press into your hands. Inhale, lift your head and chest. Look up, lift up, open the center line. Exhale, relax, down and forward. Melt towards the ground. Make your way down onto your forearms. See what your body needs here. Maybe your elbows walk forward some more. Maybe your head comes down. If you got blocks, maybe your head comes to a block. And think journey, not destination. We want to see what your hips want here. So allow room for adjustment. As your hips open and settle, surrendering to gravity and breath, maybe the right knee scoots back. Maybe the elbows scoot forward. Just breathe. And pigeon is very deep work. There's a lot of stuff we store in our hips. We have issues stuck in our tissues. So don't worry about anything weird that comes up. In addition to the physical stuff that goes on, sometimes in pigeon you find yourself feeling giggly or sad or angry, and there's no thought associated with the sudden feeling. Exhale and let it go. This is not therapy. We don't need to figure out what that was about. We can just release it. Just wring it out and say goodbye. We'll start to come out and do all the same stuff on the other sides. Take your time, walk your elbows back towards you. Come up onto your forearms, come up onto your hands, lift your head and chest. Now, if we want, give you my other point of view. If you want here, we can take a bind before we move on. You can bend that back leg, reach back for your foot or your ankle. I like to use the opposite arm. Some people like to use the same side. I tend to tip over if I use the same side. I keep looking forward and up, so I'm not twisting the upper body too much. Nice quad stretch. Release the bind if you got it. Plant the hand, plant the foot. Press into the foot to engage the leg. Press into the hands to lift the other leg. A little counter movement here. Bend the knee, stack the hips, flex the foot, make a couple circles with that knee in each direction, helping speed circulation back into the hip socket. This pigeon pinches your femoral artery. Square your hip down, lower your leg. Inhale, lift both heels, maybe rock onto your toes. And exhale, lower. Now inhale, raise your right leg. Keep the leg long, stack the hips and look under your right arm. Square your hip down. Exhale, draw your knee towards your right elbow. Inhale, reach that leg back up. Exhale, draw your knee towards your chest, send your foot over to the left side of the mat. Pinky toe edge on the floor. If you want to go further, bring your left hand in towards your heart, on up towards the sky. If you raised your hand, slowly bring it down, ground into it. Draw your knee to center, reach your leg way up. And as you exhale, we'll come to the other pigeon. Knee towards right wrist, ankle towards left wrist. Let that leg land. Let the other knee down, uncurl the back toes. Press into your hands. Inhale, lift your head and chest. Exhale, release. Surrender to breathing and gravity. And see what this side wants. Remember to allow room for those adjustments as the hips continue to melt. Scooting your leg back or scooting your arms forward, breathing into whatever arises. And we'll start to come out. Please take your time. Lift your head, walk your arms back. Finding height again. Finding those hands. Lengthening and opening up the center line. And if you want, bend that back leg. If you want, reach back. If you can, take a bind. Some days we don't know whether we're going to get the bind or not, right? Release, lower down, ground your hand, ground your foot. Engage the leg, engage the arms, reach back up to three-legged dog. Bend your knee, stack your hips, flex your foot, and circle your knee. Square your hip down, lower your leg. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, lower. Take 3 cleansing breaths. Walk your hands back to your feet. Coming to a forward fold, the back end of your mat. Let your arms swing front to back. Let your hands hang. Think of your arms like ropes. Just let the weight of your arms pick up momentum. Knees soft and bouncy. Let the swinging get bigger and bigger. When you have a nice full swing going, swing your arms up overhead, sit back to chair. Think of releasing in the front of your hips, the back of your knees, the front of your ankles, grounding into your feet. Just think release, release, release. Keep breathing. Inhale, slowly straighten your legs. Exhale, let your arms down. Let's play with chair a little more, a little variation. Inhale, reach up and sit back. Releasing, releasing, releasing. Bring your hands in under your arms. Reach them out to the sides. Bring your hands in, reach them back. Take a breath. Bring your hands in and reach up again. Inhale, stand. Exhale, relax down. Good. Let's play with a little balancing, because I almost always include a little balancing. We'll play with Warrior 3 today. I'll turn sideways for you. Like with any pose, there's several different ways to come into Warrior 3. If you have blocks and you stand them up tall under your shoulders, this is a real gentle way to come into it. You can then lift one leg leaning into the other one. I'm just pretending I have blocks. Not everyone has blocks at home. Another way to come into Warrior 3, hands at your heart. Step into a high lunge. And then you bounce off the back leg and rock onto the front. And you don't know how many bounces it's going to take. So you lift the back heel, And just start to pop forward and float. And picture where you're going. You're going to come so that your body is parallel to the ground. And reach back like you want to step on the wall with that raised foot. And keep the other knee soft and bouncy. Now, keeping your hands pressing together and pressing to your sternum can draw energy to the midline and stabilize the pose. If the foot falls, we can pick it up again. So maybe keeping your hands there works. Maybe you come to your blocks for help. You can also stand next to the wall, put one hand on the wall. If you're steady and you want to play more, you might reach your hands back or out to the sides or out in front. If you have blocks, you can use them a little or a lot. You can also use a chair. You got a chair here, you can put your hands on the seat of the chair. Don't use a chair on wheels. You can have a bad time. Exhale, slowly lower that leg. Inhale, stand. Shake it out. Cry if you need to, I guess. When you're ready, other side. Hands at heart. Find your lunge. Find balance in your lunge. If you're not balanced in your lunge, you're not going to be balanced on one leg. And when you're ready, start to take off. Start to explore bouncing forward and up. Never know how many bounces it's going to take me. And each side is different. And that's okay. Maybe this side's steadier, maybe this side's more challenging. As I'm looking down at the two mats and the one rug I'm standing on, the more padding you have underfoot, the harder it is. So if you're in a place where you have a hard floor, stepping off the mat onto the floor can be helpful. If you practiced on a big, thick mat, these one-legged balances are harder with that cushioning under your foot. So keep that in mind. The harder, the better for the surface you're standing on. If you want a real challenge, try it on the beach. Standing on one leg on the sand is like endlessly challenging. The sand's always moving. Exhale, slowly lower your leg. Inhale, slowly stand. Shake it out. Good news, time to sit, which means time to switch back to the other camera. There we go. So simple forward fold first. Extend your legs in front of you. Flex your feet towards you. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold down over those legs. And if your knees want to bend, let them bend. As you inhale, think of the crown of your head reaching forward. As you exhale, think of your head lowering towards your legs. So explore that with each breath. Take a gentle ratcheting movement, maybe deepening the fold. Inhaling, slowly walk your hands up the front of those legs and sit yourself up. And now it's time for that series I said to do every day to help undo compression in the mid-back we get from sitting a lot. Use your arms to help your legs open out. And let your arms keep helping your legs. Bend one leg and bring that foot to the opposite leg. Pivot your chest towards the extended leg and flex that foot towards you. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, fold down over the extended leg. And take a couple nice long breaths. And then our extension. Inhaling, bring your right hand in towards your body, out to the side, up overhead, towards the extended leg. If you started on the other side, it's fine. I realized at the beginning of that, I didn't say right or left. You can see what I'm doing. Luckily, right? Take your time to wind that arm back to that path. Bring that hand back over by the other hand and use both hands to walk up the front of your leg and sit up. Arms help the legs. Extend this one and bend the other one. See how he didn't say right or left? I don't know what side. Pivot the chest, flex the long leg, flex the foot. Inhale, reach up. And exhale to fold down. Couple of breaths. And slowly bring that hand in, reach it out, reach it up, reach over. Breathe into the middle of your low back, that place right above your sacrum that is tired of sitting so much. It can happen with the best of chairs, the best of postures, and taking all the breaks in the world. Still get compression here. Take your time, bring your arm back through that path, and slowly walk your hands up the front of your leg. Extend the leg again. Bring the legs back in. Bring your hands behind you. Lower onto your forearms and onto your back. Yeah, we're going to take fish pose, which is a great counter for pigeon. It's a kind of a funny pose if you haven't done it before. I guess even if you have done it before, it's a funny pose. But it's a powerful pose, and it's a great energetic counter to pigeon. Zip your feet and your legs together. Lift your right hip, slide your hand under your butt, palm down, and sit on the back of your hand. Then lift the other hip, slide your hand under, release down. So you're sitting on the backs of both your hands. Feet and legs are still zipping together. Now walk your elbows in towards each other, bringing the weight out of your back and into your arms. So your forearms have lifted your back off the ground. Now lift your head and your chest. Keep your shoulders raised. Let your head nice and slowly tip back. So you're aiming to let the crown of your head just barely find the floor. Just touching down lightly, not putting pressure on the neck. Opening your throat way up. Take some deep breaths. On the exhales, release any sound that wants to come out. We come out just as slowly and carefully. Lift your head, come all the way forward, tuck your chin to your chest. Then let your shoulders down, and then let your head down. Lift each hip, release your hands. If your hands went a little numb, you can bang them on the floor and wake them up. Bring your knees to your chest, hug your knees. Rock and roll on your back. And some twists. We'll go a little deeper than we did with the twist earlier. So let your feet down on the mat, heels in close to your butt. Now cross your right knee over your left knee. If you can't quite do that, you can cross your ankle over your knee instead. That's not as deep, but it can be more accessible. Reach your arms out to the sides, feel your shoulder blades press to the floor. Let your legs go to the left and let your head turn to the right. And try to keep those shoulders grounded. Slowly bring your head and your knees back to center and switch your legs, cross them the other way. Gently come into the other twist, let the legs go to the right, the head go to the left, shoulders stay grounded. Come on back to center. Uncross your knees. Draw them in towards your chest. Reach your feet towards the ceiling. Reach your hands up, grab your legs or feet, however you like, and play with bending and straightening your limbs in happy baby pose. If there's some other inversion you'd prefer, please take it. Sometimes in happy baby, I just play with sort of loosely going to plow by kicking my feet into my hands and reaching back and tipping. It's not quite a plow, but it's close. And some days that just feels nice. There's no wrong way to explore movement. Feeling into what your body wants can be productive. You can play with happy baby or whatever inversion you're doing for as long as you like. When you feel complete, make your way to your final resting pose. Maybe there's a movement or a posture you want to do before you go there, something you feel you're missing. Go for it. And you don't have to conclude practice in Shavasana if there's another pose you prefer. Wherever you can be comfortably still for a few minutes to breathe and integrate the benefits of your practice. Once you find your comfortable stillness, all you really need to do is breathe. You might choose to focus on your breath, maybe picturing the edges of your nostrils where the air enters and leaves your body. Or you might just choose to let your mind wander out. I'll be quiet now for a couple of minutes so you can relax even more, maybe detach even more, or focus even more, whichever is your choice. Start to find some deeper breaths. Invite small movements to return to your body. Let your movements gradually grow bigger and bigger. Whatever movements your body wants. Moving gently and mindfully. When you're ready, there is no rush. Make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands up by your heart. Thank you for coming together to share practice this morning. The light in me sees and honors and bows to that same light in each of you. Namaste. And we'll stick around and leave the room open for a bit. Questions and feedback we'll have time for that. A few things, if you want to introduce yourselves and say hi, please unmute yourself and feel free to do so.
Hi, I'm Doug, and it's very good to see you, Leo. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Been a while. Yeah.
It was.
Thank you again, Doug, for jumping in.
Yeah.
You jumped in as soon as the email went out and said, I'm coming to class. Boom,
All
boom, boom. Appreciate that.
Would you care to say hi, Casey?
Yeah.
She's waving hi. Okay. No
Okay,
pressure.
Hi, Casey.
Hi, Casey.
Cute haircut.
Okay, so some little announcements, little housekeeping things. We have props for sale. You have mats and what else?
Mats with carriers, $15.
Mats with carry straps for $15.
Squishy for good and outside, and we're working on a lawn.
Yes, they're good for outside practice. They're nice thick ones, and we're working on securing a space where we can have outside classes.
And we've got extra mats, used mats, and
Yeah.
used bricks.
Good.
So,
And there's a tip jar if you go to our website or the Facebook page, urbanyoga.org or Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center. There's instructions for how you can send us some money to keep us rolling.
same way, Venmo.
Yeah, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, all those good things. And there are 8:15 classes Monday through Saturday. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday is me. Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Brianna, who's awesome. And so tomorrow will be me again.
Yeah, good.
And you'll get email reminders. Make sure you're on the email if